Prada on my feet, Gucci all over me, Louboutin and Valentino, you ain't getting what you see. Prada on my feet, Gucci all over me, Louboutin and Valentino, you ain't getting what you see.
Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Sunday, the 7th of September. We are here, we are live. And today, I thought, why not talk about the situation at Arsenal regarding, well, injuries. Let's just put it that way, because we had that last year. We somehow avoided that the year before. We had it under Wenger, and we still have it. And for some weird reason, which is not so weird overall, let's be real, under Mikel Arteta, it's very, very, very evident that something is wrong. Whether it's Arteta, whether it's the medical staff, whether it's the car park training ground, whether it's something else, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it today. We're going to discuss it. Let me know what you think in the chat already about the injuries. Are we turning into Hospital FC? Because remember, in early 2010s, there was a meme regarding Arsenal where instead of a cannon of Arsenal's badge, we had a wheelchair because we had injuries left, right, and center. And somehow we are back there again to some extent. So let me know what you think. Like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. And let me know what you think in the chat about that as well. Big up AFC always. Like the stream and subscribe, people. Listen to him. Like the stream and subscribe. Big up AFC. Big up Nems. Go subscribe to Nems as well, people. Start a new channel. So upload today regarding Odegaard. Go show him some love, people. Everything. Spain already 1-0 up against Turkey, which is quite interesting to see. Let's be real. Nothing more, nothing less expected, but I guess it is what it is. Big up PW, big up Czech Republic, big up Anfield the Red, big up Liverpool fans in the chat, every fan in the chat. Don't go, I feel bad for you Arsenal fans, and to be honest, thank you. I'm not gonna lie. It's not that great. Big up Kwame. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. For Arteta, 100%. Konate pocketed Masboy Gyökeres. Yeah. Obviously, it's multiple factors played into that, but obviously one of the biggest ones is that we don't use him properly. He had no backups, no creativity. And a person, if you don't have enough abilities, you cannot do it on your own. Let's be real, let's say it as it is. But yeah, people, injuries at Arsenal, and it's nothing too nice to look at. I'm gonna put it that way, because these are the injuries overall at the moment. Gabriel Jesus, obviously, William Saliba, Ben White, Christian Norgard, go figure, he's live or not still, Bukayo Saka, who has a hamstring, and of course Kai Havertz, who has a knee injury. Obviously, that doesn't include Odegaard, because apparently he is gonna be okay. That doesn't include also Leandro Trossard, because apparently he is going to be okay as well, as by the looks of things. Let's just put it that way. But overall, yeah, the injuries are a big issue at Arsenal. And it's not just this season, it's seasons overall, because we had time when we didn't have injuries. We have had those seasons and we didn't win anything. We had injuries and we still didn't win anything. So the injury excuse as well, it's something I don't want to discuss. I don't want to be on it whatsoever. I'm not gonna lie. But the injuries are a massive issue, because now that we have the injuries, and also if you actually look at this more deeply, it's in key areas of the team. It's a center back, a main one. It's a right winger, our main source in the attack. It's also Ben White, who used to be good. Let's be real, I just put it that way. You have Kai Havertz, who is, well, something rather. Gabriel Jesus, who we haven't seen what it feels like since he signed. Let's be real, since he basically got injured in Brazil in the World Cup. You could arguably say we haven't seen him ever since, to some extent, looking at the games he has missed, the games he has played, and the output we have seen for him. And yeah, it's not looking great. It is definitely not looking great, because there are many Arsenal fans who rated this window 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. We addressed apparently all the issues. we have addressed all the backups. We have solid bench. There are some top gunners who even say we have one of the best benches in the league, by the way, mind you. And yeah, but now if you look at this, it's not that great, is it? Because, for example, we have Saliba out for, well, a month, almost a month, 3 to 4 weeks, right? Saka is out for almost 2 months. Let's just put it that way. Ben White is gonna be back, God knows when. Jesus, apparently he's gonna be back late November, but go figure. Let's just put it that way. Ben White, Norgard, is he even alive? Norgard has already turned into Tomiyasu to some extent. Let's be real. And Kai Havertz, well, that as well. Like it's a mystery to be solved. Let's just put it that way. Probably should call the Scooby Gang and everything. Daphne, Fred, Shaggy, Scooby, Velma to solve these mysteries, I guess. But go figure. On Saturday, I reckon we will draw at home to Nottingham Forest. I reckon it will be a 1-1 draw. I think it quite heavily depends on the team Arteta is gonna put out. It heavily depends on who Arteta is going to put out, because looking at the internationals and everything, most likely Odegaard is going to start. I'm going to be honest with you. So Eze most likely is going to be the left wing. Right wing is going to be Madueke. Striker Gyökeres. Midfield of Rice Zubimendi. Left back is going to be the Cauliflower. Then it's going to be Gabriel. Timber is going to be right back. Raya in goal. And most likely Mosquera is going to play center back. But overall, I'm not gonna lie, it again goes into another issue, because Timber, no matter how you look at it, he won't be able to play about 5-6 games in a row full 90. Mosquera is not gonna play 5-6 games as a center back or as a right back for full 90, right? Which means we will be able to see maybe Hincapié as a center back or something like that. The another issue with that is that we have nobody to sub on, because if Mosquera starts center back and Jurrien Timber starts right back, we have no backup for right back. If Mosquera starts right back, Timber calls bench, then we can maybe do something. But then again, they should talking about the center backs. But it shouldn't be an issue, should it? Because we have so many defenders, we should be able to make this work. Hincapié could be playing center back, 2 left-footed center backs. Who cares? Because if you can play there, play there. Like back in the day, which sounds very old, I know. But nobody gave a damn if you have 2 right-footed, 2 left-footed center backs, you played. If you can, main question was, can you defend and do your main job? And if you can, you play. That's about it. There were no talks about, oh, I want left-footed there, I want right-footed there, I want about 6'3" there, about 5'9" there, and all this stuff. There was no necessity for that. And now all of a sudden, with Pep, also with Mikel Arteta, it's become such a big thing that it's actually quite worrying. Let's just put it that way, which is a big issue for me personally. And yeah, because big up BBK. Ben White used to be good. Yeah, exactly. Ben White used to be good. He used to be good. He was very good at time. Let's be real, when he was fit. He was very, very good, people. He was very good. He was arguably one of the best right backs in the league at the time. And then he got injured. Timber came in, and now people talk that Timber is arguably the best right back in the league. And it's actually kind of nuts, because Ben White has had his injury issues here or there. Remember when Tomiyasu played instead of Ben White, when Timber wasn't even here, and when he hit the peak form, arguably Tomiyasu. For me personally, I didn't even want Ben White to come back, but again, injuries ruined him. And now it looks like with Ben White being injured, those injuries are coming back, and I'm genuinely not too sure if Ben White will be able to recover from these. That is the nuts part. He played 3 months with a necessity of a surgery. And I think that is it. That is literally it. He might be done to some extent. And that for me is another worry. Now we need another defender. And it all comes down to, well, who we play, how we play, and why we play. I'm not gonna lie. And all fingers to some extent are pointing at, well, you guessed it, the gaffer, the manager, the Arteta FC leader, and all this stuff, Mikel Arteta, because he plays all the players, he picks the team, he plays them injured, by the way. doesn't make the player management, well, it's literally worse than I don't know what, to be honest. It's actually insane. Players overplayed. They play 60 plus games a season without breaks. It's not looking good because, yes, that's the thing. We have the backups, which on paper sounds great. How they will look as well, questions to be answered because half of them haven't even played properly yet. One game can be one off game, one great game. We don't know how Mosquera will look. One great game, one off game. We don't know how Hincapie will look, for example. And again, then it's now coming down to, well, hope. Let's just put it that way. It's coming down to a hope to a certain extent that they will work out. And Mikel Arteta now again has put himself in this situation where he will have to take gambles. He will have to gamble on this because, again, in this window, we haven't done enough. Again, as always, it comes down to the window where we haven't done enough. Again, Bigger Prime. It's just me, but it's so nice not watching this horrible football for a couple of weeks. Yes and no. I'm not gonna lie, yes and no, because it's very nice not to watch Arteta terrorizing the football pitch consistently. Let's be real. But at the same time, I miss Arsenal. I'm not gonna. Being an Arsenal fan, it's also coming in that I miss Arsenal. I'm not gonna lie. So it's a very, very like it goes both ways. Pause. Here is BBK Sports Link. People, go subscribe. Go show him some love. People. Top guy, top Arsenal fan, not a top Gunner, which is always a fun fact. So always go show him some love. Big up Andrew, big up. Timber and Gabriel are on brink of getting injured. That is also the thing. Gabriel has just come back from a massive injury. How long will he survive till potentially something comes up again? Questions to be answered. How long will Yuri and Timber survive with no rotation? Go figure. Because there is also no, I would argue, specific timeline when Ben White comes back. And then again, when Ben White comes back, will he be good? Will he be bad? Because he got absolutely cooked against Man United. As soon as he faces quick, agile, pacey, tricky, with skill, ability, forwards, he crumbles. He crumbles. He used to be good, but he crumbles instantly these days. We are in trouble, but we already know that because that fraud is in charge. But we can't blame injuries on the manager. Exactly. Because William Saliba, for example, for Arsenal almost plays every single game bell to bell. Gabriel as well. Let's be real. Very rarely they get any changes. Same goes for Bukayo Saka and all these guys. And at some point, the body is going to give out because you can drain it to a certain extent. Because at some point, the body is going to give up. It will run out of the energy, the power, what to take from its own, from itself, to basically compensate for certain deficiencies, inefficiencies, overworking it on consistent basis. Because it was 2 years ago, I think it was, where there was a graph around game week 30, 35, something like that, where it came out teams and players in Premier League who have played the most games. And they were like top 10 players, and about 6 of them were Arsenal players. Like all competitions, right? From Premier League players. Saliba had played about 49 games, Saka had played about 47, Gabriel had played 46, Odegaard had played 45, and stuff like that. The closest player that was to them was from Man City at the time, Kevin De Bruyne, who had played, and I kid you not, 38 games, which is more than 10 games less than the player who plays the most for Arsenal. And that is just all competitions in club. For the club, that's Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, and Premier League. That wasn't including the international break as well, where they have to play the Nations League, where they have to play Euros or World Cup, whatever the competition is on, which is literally staggering that they have, to some extent, gone without injuries for as long as they have. Because for the most, the players that Arsenal get injured are the ones that usually never get injured, first of all, in Saka, Odegaard, Gabriel, Saliba, Rice, all them men, right? And on top of that, they are the guys who usually play some of their main roles in their national teams as well, which means they will consistently and constantly get called up to the team, and they will play on consistent basis. So at the end of the day, where are they going to get breaks? Where are they going to get breaks? which is the biggest issue there. Biggest issue there. They get paid big money, right? At the same time, you have to also think about players as humans. Because let's be real, for example, NBA, right? Let's just take NBA, for example. They get paid insane amount of money. Every single player, pretty much. Let's be real, right? They play for, I would argue, 9 months straight. 9 months straight, they squeeze in, at worst case scenario, they squeeze in 82 games in regular season. And if every single playoff game goes to 7 games, let's just assume, right? They squeeze in, 48, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 28, 110 games. They squeeze in 110 games, right? Which seems a lot. At the same time, at least, they get like 3 months off. 3 months off to relax, to chill. But for some of the main guys in footballing world, in the teams, in the leading teams especially, the players play the whole season with cups and Champions Leagues and all this stuff. In between, they have internationals. World Cup and Euros are every other year, pretty much. Let's be real. Then you have maybe Olympics in between and all this stuff. And then you have the Club World Cup and AFCONs and all these places, right? And best case scenario, players get 2 weeks off. Maybe 3, maybe a month if the club signs off to that. If they don't, they literally have a few weeks off. And for me personally, that is not enough whatsoever for a player to recover. We were pretty lucky 22, 23 with injuries. Yes, we didn't get injured pretty much whatsoever. In 23, 24 was decent in that department. Now it's catching up to us. Exactly. Players are overplayed, overrun, overdrained, no squad management, which has led to the point where we are right now. In my opinion, I feel like we are in our George Graham era, who will be our Wenger. Well, at least George Graham won us stuff. Mikel Arteta wins nothing. Zubimendi right back, please no. Literally, please don't. Please don't. Big up, Darren. Big up, Darren. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Hope you're doing well. Did someone order an Arsenal Ladies fan? Big up, AJ. Big up, AJ. Hardest working mod in the community. Big up to you. If you had your dream manager and 150 mil next year and Saliba and Saka leaves, well, if I have 150 mil, Saliba and Saka leaves, that would give me at least, I would assume, 150 to 160 mil extra, right? That would be 300 million. With us, who would you, if you had your dream manager, what would you do? Depends on the dream manager. For me, it's Luis Enrique or Hansi Flick. I would take one of those two, right? And then basically I would look at what we need to do. We need a new left winger. You would argue we need to replace Saka, maybe. That obviously is under the question how, obviously, for example, Luis Enrique would envision this, because, Luis Enrique also would entertain the idea of playing Max Dauman or Ranieri on the right, or somehow make Madueke work, right? Then he definitely would get a proper left back. He would get he potentially would even sell Odegaard. Like, it all solely depends on the manager. But for me, it's Luis Enrique. And I think if Luis Enrique comes in, even if you give him 150 million and Saliba and Saka stay, easy work for him. 150 million, good enough for him to basically sign 2-3 players plus sales. I think Berto will do a good job in that as well next summer to basically figure the team out. If they two leave, it will be a bit tougher. I'm not going to lie. At the same time, the money you get also from those two added to the 150 million budget also will be good enough for us to do the job, and for him, the manager specifically. At least the way I think it. Big up, people. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Should we be doing fundraising for printing the missing posters of the lad in the Merino as soon as he arrived in car park, got injured instantly? Yeah, and where is Norgard? Where is Norgard? Has anyone seen NordVPN, people? Merino scored. How does he do? Good for national team, but it's horrible for Arsenal in midfield. Well, it's I would argue pretty much straightforward, because in the Spain national team, he has better players around him. The football is slower. He has more time. It's less physical, and he can actually show off himself. And De La Fuente also is a proper manager with proper tactics and proper system in place. Most of the Spanish players in the team he actually has coached, because De La Fuente has coached every single Spanish team starting from like under 12s or under 16s or something. Has coached under 16s, 17s, 18s, 19s, 20s, and now is the main teams coach, right? On top of that, Merino scored a corner in that game, so that is probably Mikel Arteta's doing, isn't it? It's a manager issue, and it's also the international football. Big up, Gavin. Big up, Gavin. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. I don't want excuse injuries for Arteta become excuses. Exactly, but those already are becoming the excuses, which is the nuts part. We have some depth now, yeah, as they are saying. We have amazing depth, on the best in the league as well, as they're saying. So let's see. I don't care what anyone says. I don't want injury excuses. Exactly. I don't want those as well. The sad part is they are already being pushed. Top Gunners already pushing the narrative of injuries, PGMOL, and all this stuff. Let's be real. It's already going that way. Nothing more, nothing less. You cannot hide from that, unfortunately. What else we're saying in the chat? Yes, Kokan Bulki, Kamal players are injured. Yeah. Arteta's Kokan Bull. Yep. This is the Arsenal ladies full game yesterday. You guys will see the difference after watching this. Trust me. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Arsenal women's team plays some fantastic football under under Rene Slager's. Very good football, in my opinion. No wonder they won the Champions League and all this stuff. It's not a surprise. It literally is not a surprise. Merino scored and Pedri has scored for Spain, people. Mikel Merino can actually do some job for the national team. Yeah, Merino scored again, exactly. Same thing that isn't public knowledge. Mousley Skelly did he pre-season training camp in Portugal with Arsenal ladies midfielder Karakuni Cross. Make of that what you will. Exactly. Go figure how is that gonna why and what and when and how. Why is that a thing? Also, go figure. Because technically speaking, that shouldn't be the case when the team is training in Spain, but somehow it is happening. Literally, somehow that is happening, which is the nuts part. Right? Let's see what else is happening in football. There are quite a few international games. I'm just checking the games. Germany are 1-0 up against Northern Ireland. Serge Gnabry from Volteme, the assist, has scored. Interesting. Ex-Arsenal and Newcastle player linking up. For Poland, Mary Cash has scored, and that's about it for now, I guess. That's now for a bit. Yeah, again, that was 4-1. Could have easily been 8-1. Damn. But yeah, our players are useless. Just like, not all of them, but some of them definitely. And the injuries are a massive worry for me, because the excuses are already flying up in terms of injuries. And I'm very worried that is going to be the narrative that is going to get pushed overall this season, especially if it persists. If the injuries persist to happen, it's going to be pushed overall, which is very, 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 very scary. Very scary thing to think about. Because this season should be the season of accountability. This season should be the season of where everything gets shown for what it actually is. No excuses, no nothing. It should be the case. But there already the goalposts are being moved, and that is the biggest worry. But at some point, the penny should be dropping. For Top Gunners, for Mikel Arteta, for Josh Kroenke, for everyone. But it doesn't seem like they are willing to let go. They are willing to let go. They are not willing to accept this. They will stick it out until it's the end. Northern Ireland have scored, by the way, people. Northern Ireland have scored. Yes, 1-1. Northern Ireland have scored against Germany. 1-1. Price has scored. Interesting. Very interesting. Germany are looking very poorly. And ironically enough, Germany's manager is the manager I would not be against at Arsenal, which is Julian Nagelsmann, which again now is a bit of a worry for me personally, because I would love to have Nagelsmann at Arsenal, but looking at what he's doing specifically with Germany national team, right? It is worrying. I'm not gonna lie, it is worrying to say the least. It's more worrying than people think. Having half of the team on surgeries, it just means that these injuries could resurface. Exactly. Because I think Tommy got a failed one and then decided to sweep it under the carpet. It feels that way because to some extent, yes, you get an injury, you have a surgery, you work through it and everything. But no matter how much you train, how much you try to recover, there will be damage left. because you cannot fix it perfectly. It's impossible, right? Which means there will be some deficiencies, which again, to some extent, means that other parts of the body will have to overcompensate for the issues that basically the fixed part is not doing or is lacking of, which again means that the parts of the body that are overcompensating are gonna fail as well at some point. And it goes into an instant chain reaction, because as soon as you start to get one injury, okay, but if it starts to make a snowball effect into 2, 3, it's pretty much bigger chance than not that it's done and dusted at the end of the day. Speaking of the Arsenal ladies, they actually have a Arsenal, they have a proper captain as well, being with us since 6 years old. Center back has the number 6 shirt and has won it all with Arsenal. Exactly, Leah Williamson, proper captain at Arsenal, proper one. Cazorla got a bad surgery and he wasn't the same after. Exactly, one surgery, then injuries again and again and again, and never recovered. Mike Lowen as well. Got an ACL early in his career, didn't recover properly, had some glimpses on occasion, but he never grew to the potential and the expectations he actually should have grown up to, just because of the injuries. R9 as well, Ronaldo Nazario. Dude, that guy is so unlucky with his kneecaps and all this stuff. Dude, imagine what he could have been if he didn't have those injuries as well. There are loads of examples in those terms what could happen. Should Slegas take over from Arteta? Maybe yes, but maybe also no. Because I don't want Arteta go coaching the women's team. They will genuinely destroy themselves. I was on the Nagelsmann before, but he seemed erratic at Bayern, and the Germany appointment kind of sealed it off. Yeah, to some extent. Don't think he can get us over the line. Decent show, but nothing more. Yeah, but I kind of, you know how the managers are these days. You have specific cup managers who do well in cups and not in the league. Like, well, you could argue, for example, Unai Emery. It's most of the time, right? With the Sevilla-Villarreal situation in Europa League is the prime example. You have managers who do very good in the league and do very poorly in the cups. There are managers who can do very good at international level, but cannot do anything for the club level. And then there are managers who can do very well on the club level, but can't do a fall in the international level. Like, there are different types of managers. But overall, I don't know. With Nagelsmann, it should be a very, very rough situation because he was good and he has very good philosophy and ideas how he wants to play football, specifically, just like Cesc Fabregas. The question is, can he live up to it? Slegas can do a better job, yeah. But we didn't have so many injuries like now. We did. Partially, it was obviously due to Santi Cazorla, Rosicki, Diaby. Who else was there? Wilshere, that one of the most wasted talents. To some extent, you could argue Theo Walcott, maybe also Aaron Ramsey, and players like that. Obviously, who else was there? Who else was injured on a consistent basis? Thomas Vermaelen, for example. We also saw how one injury of Hector Bellerin ruined him forever. As soon as he lost the pace, he was never the same. I still remember how Bellerin tracked down, who was it, David Alaba or whoever, sprinting back when Barmer almost going out one-on-one and made the tackle and everything. Like, we had quite a bit of injuries under Arsene Wenger. The thing about Arsene Wenger is, though, he was such a good manager that he actually could put in backups and also even under 21 players, and the team felt like on many occasions we didn't lose a beat. It didn't miss much. Yes, you could see that the quality, maybe certain aspects of the game were lacking, but we still have this definitive style, this definitive ideology, the system, and we still play the same way. And more often than not, it still worked. And Wenger didn't panic all the time. As soon as somebody got injured, he didn't shift the whole players around. With Mikel Arteta, as soon as one gets injured, all of a sudden, like 3 players change positions in the team, and all the dynamic is ruined instantly. Wenger was different gravy. We still used to have the injuries. Exactly, like Rosicki, Diaby, Wilshere, Vermaelen, lots of potential. Not a single player got a grade 3 hamstring injury under Vers. Yeah, that is also the case. Wenger knew when player was in red zone, and he had enough balls to say, I don't care who you are, you're going to sit out this game. You are in the red zone, and you need a rest. Big up Wenger for that. And he had respect from the board, hopefully. He had respect from the players 100%, and nobody decided to be disappointed or go against him. Obviously, there were some players whose thought process about the club, like Van Persie, Nasri, Cesc Fabregas, and all, didn't align with the club's vision, because our club wanted to save, whilst Van Persie and the rest of the guys wanted to win, obviously. It's a bit different story, but under Wenger, he actually knew how to manage the players. Wenger could actually get to quarterfinals and even semifinals to some extent with backup players and youth players in the cups, right? And then when obviously shit hits the fan and you need to play the big teams, he actually puts out the best team he has. We barely can get to quarterfinals, semifinals, not even talking about the finals, with our best team available, which is a very big worry. Ramsey and Eduardo were very unlucky, but still couldn't live to the potential. Yeah. Shawcross and everything, still hate that guy for what he did, Big up. The Merino keeps scoring, bro. He's a beast in Spain. Yeah, many players. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I don't judge players by international games. Hence why everyone thought Calafiori is the best thing since sliced bread. Merino is the best thing since sliced bread and all this stuff. Nico Williams, phenomenal. Because for the national team, those players tend to do good. Let's be real. Those players usually show up. But for the club, they're very mediocre players. Let's be real. And that is also a big thing and big issue in those terms. You cannot judge players by international games. Same like, for example, Sofian Amrabat, who signed for Manchester United, right? He locked up Mbappe for Morocco in the World Cup. And everyone thought, oh, he is phenomenal. How has nobody signed him? He signed for United. He came to Premier League. We all saw what happened. You cannot judge players strictly on international games. It's a very hit and miss situation. Let's be real. Belgium are winning 2-0 against Kazakhstan. Trossard, yes, you heard it right. Leandro Trossard, the Panda Boy, is starting on the right wing, and he is the worst performer on the pitch, technically, based on the ratings and everything. He's not doing much. Allegedly, that is strictly on judging by what's its face, player ratings that get put out during the games. But yeah, Trossard has started for Belgium and is playing right wing. Let's just put it that way. And it's almost halftime there. So yeah, it is what it is in those terms. Iraola would do well at Arsenal, the most underrated manager. I can see that. What Iraola has done at Bournemouth with what he has, and especially even right now when he has lost 3/4 of his defense in terms of Hausen, Zabarny, and Kerkez, and he's still doing it. It's actually quite nice. I wish they didn't sign that stupid goalkeeper they did from Chelsea, because he's even worse than Kepa. And the man Merino wasn't good enough last week, and he scored for Spain. Well, they do that. Gibbs and Oxlade were quite injury prone, so was Sanya. Yeah, we had those, but at the same time, yes, we had injury prone players. Yes, we had issues with that. But still, Wenger somehow managed to basically make you feel like it's gonna be okay. It's a problem that we have injured maybe one of our best players in the team at the time. But on the other hand, he never panicked. He was calm. He was collected. He knew what he was doing, and to some extent, you actually trusted Wenger to find the best solution. And 9 times out of 10, when you watch the team play with the injuries that we had and the replacements he had put in instead of them, it was good. There were no problems, no issues. Wenger never panics. Exactly. Wenger was a genius. Exactly. Can I please complete? Honestly, I am really worried about Port Vale loss. Bro, don't put that into universe yet. But if we lose to Port Vale, and I don't care what team we put out, I'm not going to lie, we should be beating Port Vale with our eyes closed. If we lose to Port Vale, sack him on the spot. Trade Mikel Merino for Kobe Mainoo. I wouldn't be against that. Trade Mikel Merino for Quinton Timber. I would definitely not be against that. Big up Gary. Big up Gary. Go subscribe to Gary, people. Here is the link. AJ already has put it in the chat, people. Go show him some love. Go subscribe. Go show. I cannot get even my words out. Arsenal fan. A bit sitting on the fence, but also starting to call out Mikel Arteta on his crap. Let's just say it as it is. But yeah, very level-headed and calm-minded Arsenal fan. Not as reactionary as many of us. At the same time, you need best of both worlds to some extent, and he's perfect example of that. And top guy, so people go show him some love. Under Wenger's tenure, only 9 first-team players required surgery. Under Arteta so far, it's 8. I researched this and it's fact. Oh my goodness. So you want to tell me that under Arsene Wenger, in 22 years, only 9 first-team players required a surgery. But under Mikel Arteta, in 6.5 years, 8 players already have been under the scalpel. Oh my days, oh bloody hell. This is actually kind of nuts. This is actually kind of nuts, to say the least. By the way, people, I'm going to be live for about half an hour, 40 minutes or so. So if anyone, I'm going to be risking this for the biscuit, but if anyone wants to come on, I can drop the link in the group chat on WhatsApp or send in DMs or something. Just putting it out there. Most one, yes, but saying we didn't have many Wengers. We had a lot of injuries under Wenger. We did. We rarely had surgeries. It was constantly the same players. Now it's the overused players. Exactly. Now it's the overused players. And ironically enough, the overused players are the ones that usually never got injured for Arsenal, or mostly. Let's just put it that way, because Saka, well, he limps a lot. He's a Sir limps a lot, let's be real. But he wasn't as injured as he was. Odegaard never was injured pretty much for Arsenal. Gabriel wasn't pretty much injured for Arsenal. Saliba as well. Declan Rice in general. Thomas Partey had pretty much never been injured at Atletico Madrid for 9 years. And he was playing under Diego Simeone and his gruesome schedule and training regimes. Yet he comes to Arsenal, bang. He's out for 3/4 of the time at Arsenal. Well, not 3/4, let's just say half of the time at Arsenal. Like, it's actually kind of nuts if you think about it. It is actually kind of nuts. And unfortunately, the common predominator into this is Mikel Arteta. Hey, yo, Mikel Merino has scored 2 goals. 2 goals for Spain. I kid you not. He has scored 2 goals for Spain. Spain are 3-0 up against Turkey in, I assume, Istanbul. I assume they play in Istanbul, right? I think so. But yeah, they're 3-0 up and Mikel Merino has a brace. He's on for a hat-trick today. Holy crap. Seriously, holy moly. Mikel Merino is on a road for hat-trick today. How does that even work out? Serious talk, how does that even work out? It's actually kind of wild, to say the least. But yeah, Merino can score for... Exactly. Well, he scores for Arsenal as well, to be honest. How many goals did he score? 6-7 goals last year for Arsenal. He has scored on many players for Arsenal, to be honest. So Havertz and Jesus ASAP put Merino as a backup and lock him up from the midfield area. True. Like, Merino as a striker was more influential for Arsenal as than a midfielder. Like, that also should not be the case, especially given the fact that he has never, ever played a striker. It's actually kind of bad, isn't it? Just shows how ineffective Havertz has been there. It's bad news for us Arsenal fans that Merino is scoring now. Arteta will think it's prime R9. Yeah, exactly. R9. Merino R9. Wait, hold on. I will find this for you. Give me a second. I need to find one image. One image. I will find you this image. Just the question is, when did I post the video? Because I have an image and I need to find this right now. Definitely need to find this right now, because I think it was last year against Leicester City. We played the game. And that was the game. Where was it? Was it a video or was it a stream I did? That for me is the biggest thing. Wait, let me find this. I really want to find this for you people. Henry Merino. One goes when you're. So that's the preview for the Leicester game. Oh my bloody! I will find this. Trade 29 for Ivan Toney. I would be for it. I would be for it. I would be for it 100%. I wouldn't be against that. Definitely would not be against that whatsoever, people. Leicester, February 15th, 2025. It was the stream then, February 15th, 2025. Give me a second, people. If I still have it, Arsenal streams, August, April, June, Arsenal memes. I don't. Ah, for fuck's sake. It's such a shame I don't. I literally such a shame I don't. I guess it is what it is. But I used to, April, August, June, May. Yeah, I don't. Such a shame. I'm not gonna lie, such a shame. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm fine if Arteta starts Marino to be first, just in the midfielder. Exactly. It's the same as with Zinchenko. Now you're Ukrainian, you also don't rate him as highly. But for me as well, it's the same thing. I'm fine with Zinchenko starting, as long as he doesn't start as a left back. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm fine with Zinchenko starting, as long as he's not starting as a left back. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like, there's certain positions where players should not be playing, and it's been proven over time. And that is the nuts part. That is the nuts part. That is the nuts part, because this Arteta has this willingness to play the players out of position. And it's very, very, very concerning, to say the least. It's very concerning. That is the big thing. That is the big thing. Give me a second. I'm looking for an image, if I can find it on my PC quickly, because I used to have it. I don't now, which is a big worry for me personally. Oh, I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. People, I found the image. Be prepared for this. Be prepared for this. I found the image. Seriously, I found the image. Cannot believe it myself. Give me a sec. Memes. Refresh. Oh, fuck, I need to resave it. Big up, Cooper. Big up, Cooper. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Talking about Odegaard. Bench. I'm not fine with Zinchenko is starting even as a midfielder above Brighton, Brentford, why not? But if we want to win something, just no. I get it. I get it. As a backup midfielder, he actually is not the worst. Let's be real. As a backup midfielder, he is actually not the worst. That's the thing. Because whenever we have played Zinchenko in midfield, we have played Zinchenko as a number 10 for Arsenal. He actually has been good. That is the nuts part. He actually has been good, which is actually hella weird and hella nuts. But hey, I guess it is what it is in those terms. Let's be real. I guess it is what it is, if we are looking at it this way. But hey, beggars can be choosers, right? Beggars can be choosers. But Zinchenko, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. I think get rid of Merino and Kai by backup striker over for Glock. Yeah, I would take Tony as a backup. 100% I would take Tony as a backup. Without shadow of a doubt, I would take. Without shadow of a doubt, I would take. But yeah, Merino literally, when he plays for Spain, he turns into this one. When he plays for Arsenal, well, it's a bit different story, isn't it? It definitely is a bit different story. We never played Zinchenko as a 10. I think he was midfield once for 3 years. He was starting as a 10 against PSV, and he was very good there for us. But yes, I think for Ukraine, he mostly plays midfield, doesn't he? He starts as an 8, as a left 8, I think, in 4-1-4-1 or 4-4-2, whichever you play at times, which is very weird. But yeah, I think I have seen that. For Arsenal, he mostly has played as a left back and then shifted into midfield, inverted into midfield, right? And for Arsenal, very rarely he has started as a midfielder. Yeah, that is the big thing. But yeah, keep that pic far from us. What do you mean, keep that picture far from Arteta? He has played striker for us. Obviously, when Mikel Arteta sees this image, right, it's like this. Instantly turns into this one. Like, what do you mean? What do you even mean? Like, it's actually kind of nuts, to be honest. But hey, I guess it is what it is in those terms. But yeah, Mikel Merino, like that's what I said before. Based on international games, we cannot just judge teams like that. We cannot judge teams like that. We cannot judge players by them. Yeah, exactly. Mostly he was left center mid with a creative role for Ukraine. Exactly. That is the case. That's the thing here. For Arsenal, he plays as a left back inverted into left mid, but that doesn't work. I wouldn't mind seeing Zinchenko in Granit Xhaka role, like Granit Xhaka played in 2022-23 season, with overlapping the left winger in that time Martinelli and all this stuff. I wouldn't. And Havertz is the Austin Powers. Oh, behave. Like, it's actually nuts if you think about it. What else do we have? You have seen them all, I think. You have seen them all. Like, this is one of my favorite ones, by the way. This is one of my favorite ones, people. I will show you. This is one of my favorite ones. Where is it? This is one of my favorite ones. Just putting it out there. This is one of my favorite ones. You know that meme where he's searching and turning around and all this stuff and everything, but kind of works. Kind of works, doesn't it? For Mikel Arteta, looking for answers and everything, it kind of works. Seriously. But yeah, this one is still the best one. Merino for the international team. I had this image, by the way, when Arsenal were drawing 0-0 against Leicester at home last year in February, Mikel Merino came off the bench as a striker and scored 2 goals. And I used this image as my thumbnail for the stream. I think lots of you were not here, but this is like from the past, like literally 7 months ago. I used this image as my thumbnail. Seriously. Obviously, it was jokingly around. It still had the title saying Mikel Merino scored 2 goals and he was fantastic, but still he is not the answer as a number 9. But yeah, I used that. Anyways, back to the matter at hand. Talking about Arsenal and all this stuff. Let me share you with this. It is coming to a point where we get bantered like this. Seriously, we get bantered like this. It's coming to the point. See no trophy, hear no trophy, speak no trophy. Like this is what I'm seeing on social media these days. Just because of Mikel Arteta and his inability to get it over the line, no matter how much money he spends. Like this is actually kind of wild, if you ask me. I think the Travolta one is a bit wrong. Arteta actually thinks he knows what he's doing, but it's as that he's that are scratching our heads. Maybe Arteta tactics are so detailed. Even the injury list has a game plan. That's a good one. Sad but true. Exactly. That's the nuts part. It pains me as an Arsenal fan when I see stuff like this. At the same time, is it wrong? Like seriously, is it wrong? As AJ is saying, 1 trophy from 22 available in Arteta's tenure at Arsenal. Let's not forget he could have even gone to Europa League final or Champions League final last year if he had a brain cell. But this is what it comes down to. See no trophy, hear no trophy, speak no trophy. Like, it's actually kind of nuts if you think about it. Big up Hyper Protagonist. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Hope you're doing well. And this is the other one. This is the other one. Oh, you cannot even see it. My bad. Basic. Yes, let's do it this way and this. This is what it's saying. Crystal Palace manager Oliver Glasner has almost matched Mikel Arteta's Arsenal trophy haul in 5 fewer seasons. He spent over 900 million less than Arteta, and this is what they're saying. They're counting community shields into this, by the way. Only reason they're counting community shields into this. By the way, people. Now the question is, would you take Oliver Glasner at Arsenal. He has new toys and doesn't know how to use them. Yeah, exactly. Even if we beat PSG, we lose to Inzaghi. That's simple. Most likely, I'm not gonna lie, most likely, even though PSG annihilated the Inter Milan, absolutely annihilated, to say the least. Now I'm immune to this cooked stuff. How can you cook someone who's already burned himself into a crisp? True, I kind of see that. The amount of internal talks I had with myself discussing how shit is Arteta as well. Dude, you are having internal talks. Arteta finds internal solutions. You might be connected spiritually with Mikel Arteta. Be careful, be careful. Be very, 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 very careful. Like your initials are AM. Mikel Arteta's initials are MA. Like the same one is just reversed. Arteta has internal solutions. You have internal talks and all this stuff. So be wary, my friend. Be wary, my friend. I appoint Felipe Inzaghi tomorrow. Felipe Inzaghi. Felipe Inzaghi, yeah. But I don't. You want Filippo Inzaghi, not Simeone Inzaghi. You much rather have the Felipe Inzaghi who is at where is he now? The Italian second division, Palermo or something like that. You much rather have the second Palermo manager. Sorry, at least I'm self-aware. True. Smash the like button, people, and subscribe. I know today's stream is not getting the views and everything, but I don't care. I'm not gonna lie. Today, I literally don't care. All good. Yeah, Simeone Inzaghi, exactly. But he's getting like 22 million at Saudis. We are not paying that. We definitely are not paying that. I would take Glasner in a heartbeat. Who can blame you? Literally, who can blame you? Sorry. Enrique as well. He's getting half the money Michele is getting at PSG. Dauman getting slagged off by Chelsea and Man United fans is hilarious. Yeah, it's actually insane because we actually have some proper youth prospects. Chelsea haven't had those in years, but it feels like. I'm not gonna lie. At the same time, like Dauman played for under-19s yesterday against Spain, right? In the first half, if I'm not mistaken, it was the first half, Spain under-19s had to foul him 10 times in one half to stop him. Plus, Max Dauman won England a penalty as well yesterday. He's already dancing around Spanish youngsters. He's dancing around La Masia graduates and who are about to graduate from La Masia. That is saying a lot, isn't it? But Luis Enrique or Hansi Flick is my answer. Same. 100% the same. People, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Chris, simple question. If Arteta doesn't win anything this season, would you sack him? Well, I would, but that's not directed at me. I'm not gonna lie. The question is not directed at me at the end of the day. But yeah, the issues for me is that how Arteta will respond at the end of the day to these rotations. Injuries, sorry. Because with injuries happening at Arsenal, for me, the biggest worry is how Mikel Arteta is going to respond. How he's going to change the team around and who is going to take which place. Because Timber has no backup because Ben White is out. Saliba also has no backup, technically. So if he starts Mosquera as a center back, it means that Timber has no backup, who is coming back just from injuries. And he's not going to play those 5 games or however we have with Saliba out consistently every single game, 90 minutes plus. He's not going to do that because he cannot still do it. Mosquera will not be fit enough, let's just put it that way. He won't be able to play as well 5 games in a row with no substitutions, which means at some point we will have to play Hincapie as a center back, Calafiori as a center back, and put Skelly as a left back. At some point, something like that is bound to happen eventually, isn't it? Big up, people. 17 likes. Much love, people. Now Arteta needs to go while opponents are lifting trophies. This man lifting PowerPoint slides talking about Tony Walk, about the boys. Yep. 100%. I'm not looking forward to Arsenal signing Mudryk next time. Sorry, wait. When does Mudryk's ban end? Mykhailo Mudryk's ban is until 2029. Mykhailo Mudryk is banned till 2029. He got a 4-year ban, which means we still have 4 years without Mudryk. So I don't think that is going to happen. He's till 2029. I'm happy about that. We are Timber and Mosquera away from Zubimendi as a right back. Yeah. The nuts part is, if Timber goes down as well in this time, we will be playing Mosquera most likely as a right back. We will have most likely Hincapié as a center back, Gabriel, and Calafiori, right? Which means we have no defenders to sub on. We have no defenders to rotate with. Think about it. Unless we play Zinchenko as a left back and put Calafiori as a center back, or Skelly as a left back and put Calafiori as a center back, we have no one to rotate with defensively. That is the other nuts part. That is the other nuts part if you come to think of it. That is I would argue, the other issue that we are facing potentially. Yo, just don't. Concentrate more about the opposition play until he forgets how we should play. Yeah, exactly. Good, then we won't sign him. Exactly. Robo Zinchenko went to Forest, MLS. Yeah, Miles Skelly, yeah. I'm so used that we are not getting rid of players. I still think Zinchenko is our player, but Zinchenko is at Forest. He's not going to even play against us, by the way. Which means, yeah, my bad. That's on me. I totally forgot. But yeah, wait, for fuck's sake. Look at this. I'm going to share the screen and look at this, people. Look at this, people. Look at this. We have two goalkeepers. Now look at the defenders, right? Look at the defenders. Ben White is out. Saliba is out, right? That leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defenders. 6, which sounds on paper good enough. However, if Timber goes out, Mosquera goes right back, Hincapié, Gabriel as center backs, Calafiori or Skelly goes left back, which means instantly we have no defensive rotations in the team. We have one makeshift left back, because arguably we don't even have a left back in the team. We have center back as a left back and we have midfielder as a left back. We are one Timber unlucky situation away with our defense having zero rotation whatsoever. That is now the bigger worry if you look at it this way. Unless Mikel Arteta rushes Saliba back, which we have seen him done before. My predictions, Zinchenko won't even play many games for Forest. Well, we're about to see that, won't we? Big up Vigilante. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. I'm going to run. Big up Cooper. Much love, brother. Much love, brother. Have a nice evening. Big up BBK. Big up. Lurking in the backgrounds, I assume. Lurking in the backgrounds, my man. But yeah, that for me is the next big issue. Personally, that for me is the next big issue. We are literally one Timba unlucky incident or away from, or Calafiori even to some extent incident away from being in a deep shit. Let's be real. Let's say it as it is. Here's BBK's channel, people. Go show him some love. The other one is, as the most wanted is saying, remember that he made Rice play center back a couple of times. If that happens, we know what happens in the midfield. Mikel Merino. Yeah. To be honest as well, if we happen this, right? Look at this. Rice goes center back. We have Zubimendi, Merino midfield with, I would assume Odegaard or someone like that on the left. Odegaard's other position is right winger, alternate position. And that is mostly because only he plays for Norway on the right wing. Or does he drift too much wide for Arsenal on that right side? That is the other thing. But yeah, we are literally 1-2 unlucky moments, let's just put it that way, away from everything going down the drain. Well, saying it as it is, big time. Let's just say that. I like how there were talks about, but we have decent squad depth. Well, that's gone into the void. Yeah, we have squad depth. We have the best squad in the league. We have one of the best depths in the league. Our backup options are so good, it could finish like in the top 10, let's just say in the mid-table, if not higher above or something like that. There was some weird BS going like that around, right? But 3 games passed, few main players out, backups have to come in, and it takes 1-2 more injuries, unlucky turn of events, even red card, by the way, people. We cannot exclude those. And it all goes down the drain instantly. Just play the players in the natural positions. We won't have trouble. None of this makeshift nonsense. It's exactly that for me is the nuts part. That for me is the nuts part. But if we play our players in their natural positions, if we want to call them that way, Arsenal have no left back, which means most likely we should be playing 3 at the back. Let's be real. Arsenal have number 9, right wing, everything 6, 10, 8. We actually are quite very well built to play 5 at the back / 3 at the back. We are very well built. We have center backs like galore. We have wing backs galore, because if you want to utilize Martinelli as a defensive winger, which is a very weird combination, let's be real, playing 3 at the back / 5 at the back makes most sense whatsoever overall, let's be real, because he can just run up and down the one side as much as he wants if Arteta wants him to do that, as the left mid, left wing back, and cross the ball. If you want, Timber can play that right wing back role. Saka still can be right wing or right mid, and not right mid. I don't want him tracking back, to be honest, too much. So right wing. We can play 3-4-3, 3-5-2, 5-5-2-3, and stuff like that. Arteta will invert, shift something in those lines. We have a very proper team to play 3 at the back. Very well built team to play 3 at the back. We just don't. And it's a very big shame, because that is the only formation that has given Arteta any success at this club whatsoever. Because he played the 3 at the back the only time he has won anything. And that was in the FA Cup. He beat Man City like that, over the top, low balls from Tierney pretty much to Aubameyang. And he beat Chelsea like that. And that is the nuts part. How comes he has never kind of reverted back to it ever since? It's a weird one. He has stuck to 4-3-3 and 4-2-3-1 most of the time, like stink on cheese. Squad is a mess. Last season has carried on with all the injuries. Should have cancelled the preseason tour and kept the players in the UK, let them rest and recover, play a few local teams for preseason. I actually can see that as a very good option. Obviously need to make money somehow. Let's be real, need that preseason. But I also wouldn't be against playing other teams in preseason. Why we are playing Premier League teams in preseason? Some of our main rivals in preseason, because we have played Liverpool in recent times, United, we have played, obviously, Spurs, Newcastle. What happened to the times when we played Barcelona, PSG? Obviously, we played AC Milan this year as well, and teams like that. We played Nürnberg and all these teams. Why don't we do that more often? Already see the narrative from these top channels talking about being unlucky with injuries, and that's why we can't compete and can't win anything. It is coming out already. What do you think? 3 at the back. I think it. Yeah, exactly. I think the same way. 3 at the back / 5 at the back. Depends how you look at it and how you set it up. But I think that arguably would be the best way how we could do it, because we would have enough pace on the wings to try even counters. We would have enough midfield density still to this day, because if we put a proper midfield, especially if we try to play, let's say 3-5-2 or something weird like that, we have an outlet up top as well. We can overlap, we can invert still, and everything. We can shift it in let me think, 3-5-3, 3-5-2, and we can kind of shift it into 2-5-3 or 2-4-5, as Arteta has done it before, and everything, or 2-4-4 in the attack. He can instantly shift it around. Vigilante Chu, especially the team we played, couldn't we at least play some amateurs or low-level teams as well? Yeah, exactly. Get the run out. Chelsea won the league playing 3 at the back under Conte. Yeah, many teams have done it playing 3 at the back. And have you noticed as well that only teams that have won the league are teams that don't play the same football as Pep Guardiola? Think about it. Those are the only teams. Klopp didn't play like that. Who else? Chelsea didn't play like that. Who else was there? Let's just say Leicester didn't play like that. I think Pep was already here. I think. Don't quote me on that. I forgot when Pep joined specifically. But most of the teams that have beaten City to win the league, or even the Cups to some extent, none of them play like Pep Guardiola. Arsenal have the ones that try to basically do better than the expert in their field, with having less training, less knowledge, and less understanding of the situation. Basically, we are the Karate Kid trying to beat Mr. Miyagi in his own game. Yes, Pep has taught everything Arteta everything Arteta knows, but Pep hasn't taught Arteta everything Pep himself knows, and it shows big time as well. Plus, Pep also adjusts. He follows the trends. He tries to change it around every season. He tries to implement something new. With Mikel Arteta, I haven't seen that. Make money from the Emirates Cup. Kroenke could have sold their match. Yeah, the excuse express using injuries. Yes, it's the injury express in both ways, shapes, and forms. In excuses and in the signings. 100%. 100%. Oh, bloody hell. People. You won't believe this. It has happened. It has happened, people. You won't believe this. We have a hat-trick hero in the international duty. We have a hat-trick hero. And no, it is not Lamine Yamal. It is Mikel Merino. He has scored a hat-trick today. Mikel Merino has scored a hat-trick for Spain. And when Wenger used to play teams like Bayern and Leyton Orient, yeah. The injury excuse is starting to grow legs. Oh, wow, quite heavily as well. We're saying this about, not to forget, this manager doesn't know how to counter-attack anymore. True. Cult is getting desperate. Yeah, only 3 games, 35 to go. And that will be interesting to see what they say for the rest of the season. The point for preseason is to slowly get match fitness, to get into motion, not make fight slide tackling Newcastle and intense AC Milan. Exactly. You could also in these games test out new systems, new styles, new tactics, new ideas. But no. Facts is the best thing you can do. Makes sense. Like, go ahead, won't do it. Don't know how to react to Merino hat-trick. True. Mikel Merino has scored a hat-trick, people. Mikel Merino has scored a hat-trick. More of a reason to pull up this image once again. More of a reason to pull up this image once again. Mikel Merino, R9 Nazario. Arteta is going to feel even more smug and try to take credit for that hat-trick, dude. Don't even start on this. More of a reason why Mikel Arteta might actually play him as a striker, and reasons why Arteta will find an excuse not to play him, not to sign another striker. Wait, hold on. I'm going to watch the Mikel Merino's third goal because it looks like it's going to be a worldie. Okay, nice counter. Lamine Yamal goes, takes on 2 defenders, passes to Merino. Merino from about 30, 25 yards out, bends it like Beckham, far corner around the keeper. Nice goal, to be honest. The third goal was very nice from Mikel Merino. Saka didn't score hat-trick for Arsenal. At least that Nketiah has. Yeah, Ferran should have scored there. Well, it is what it is. Ferran Torres has scored a goal as well, so he's not the only one who has scored. So, yeah, but Mikel Merino being on a hat-trick, it's actually kind of wild, I'm not going to lie. Well, what can we do? Merino will start versus Forest. At striker or as the number 10? Well, that's the thing. Who will start on the weekend? Who will start on the weekend? That is the big question. Who will start on the weekend? Yeah, people, subscribe to Vigilante as well. By the way, forgot to mention that. I'm deeply sorry. Merino will be in midfield, Eze on the left. I don't want Merino in the 10, though. Big I'm gonna go try and out VR, chat, smash the likes, people. Yeah, go subscribe to Vigilante. Here is his football channel, and here is his gaming channel. Go subscribe to him. He streams quite often, to be honest. So hopefully he see him more talking on football and everything. So big up Vigilante. Thank you for dropping by. Much love. We have to get a left wing in January. I don't see that happening, unfortunately. 6-0 Spain. Holy crap. Spain are running wild. Pedri scored. 6-0 Spain, that is actually kind of insane. Poland winning 3-0. Germany 1-1. Belgium is 4-0 up against Kazakhstan. And Trossard, well, has done nothing in the game, and he's been subbed off for Malik Fofana. Watch him score instantly, pretty much. But yeah, 19 likes. Big up to you all, people. If we can push it up to 20, I will be over the moon. If Eze doesn't start and coming wing all my... To be honest, I want to ask you this. In which universe does this make any sense to you, by the way? Mikel Merino, fucking hell. Eberechi Eze. He starts for Crystal Palace. He starts for England against Andorra. But he's not good enough to start for Mikel Arteta at Anfield against Liverpool. Where does that make sense? Serious talk. Where does that make any sense whatsoever? Like, to who that makes sense, to be honest? Turkish must be fuming, to be honest. Turkish, CKA, I think Abs, Waffled On as well is fuming. I'm not gonna lie. So there are quite a few of people who are fuming at the moment. But yeah, where does that make sense? That he can start for England, he can start for Crystal Palace, but he cannot start for Arsenal. Like, for me, it makes 0 sense whatsoever, personally. It makes 0 sense whatsoever. But hey, I guess that's why Mikel Arteta knows exactly what we need. I guess. Like, that is the big thing. That is the big thing. Wait, give me a sec. They're trying to make sense in a situation where when Yeri Odegaard, Eze all sit on the bench, and Max Daumann, let's not forget Max as well, by the way. Just play Eze and give him the license to do what he does. Exactly. But that's the thing. That is never going to work, will it? And that is never going to happen as well. Because Mikel Arteta doesn't give the players the freedom, which means we might actually see Mikel Arteta turning Eze into, well, his own Jack Grealish. Just like Pep did to Jack Grealish, because if you compare Jack Grealish, what he was at Aston Villa, what he was at City, and now what he is at Everton, it's night and day compared to both of those from Everton and Aston Villa, what he was at City. Now, if that means I win insane amount of Premier Leagues and Champions League and all this stuff, I won't care. But I just know that we won't. That is the nuts part in all of this. That is the nuts part in all of this, because there will be no freedom. There will be nothing. There will be system on the wing, touchline winger, and all this crap going on, which again will stifle him, will make him worse, and all this stuff. Which again makes me which again makes the big issues there. Grealish is cooking for Everton. I've seen Everton games. Exactly. 2 games, I think he has 2 assists and a goal, or 3 assists or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Jack Grealish is actually doing very well at Everton. He has been given the freedom that he is a necessity for him to do well. Jack Grealish in 3 Premier League games has 4 assists. 3 Premier League games and has 4 assists, and all of them have been for Everton. 2 assists against Brighton and 2 assists against Wolves. And both of the games Everton have won. 2-0 against Brighton, 2 assists. 3-2 against Wolves, 2 assists. David Moyes has actually done properly well. Sadly, Eze might regret his move unless Cronkies are serious. Yeah, that's the thing. Eze actually might regret his move unless, well, Arteta goes. Let's just put it that way. 3. He has 4. According to Transfermarkt, specifically, Jack Grealish has 4 assists. Assist leaders in Premier League. Let me check in official website. Yeah, Jack Grealish has 4 assists. Right? It's loading. I'm checking multiple sources. And assists. Save. Yeah, Jack Grealish is on 4 assists. He is the assist leader in Premier League at the moment. 2 games, 4 assists, well, 3 games technically, but he played only a few minutes against Leeds in that 1-0 loss. But he has played 2 almost full 90s in the 2 games, and he has gotten 4 assists. It's still an instant contribution to the team, and instantly 2 wins for Everton as well, because they looked very lost and very bad against Leeds. Leeds looked very, very good, very high pressing, very demanding. Obviously, the game was at Elland Road, so maybe that's why. But afterwards, 2-0 win against Brighton at home. Jack Grealish gets 2 assists. 3-2 win against Wolves as well. Jack Grealish gets 2 assists. David Moyes actually knows how to use him properly to basically unlock him. And that is the thing. I think he's enjoying football again. Hopefully, at least. Might be that case. But yeah, it's actually kind of nuts if you think about it in those terms. But yeah, people, I think on that note, I'm going to end today's stream. Big up to you all. Big up Terry Tibbs. Big up Terry Tibbs. I'm happy we're off the mark, smashing Armenia 5-0. Ronaldo with a screamer. Big up to you. Big up Terry. Big up Portugal. I see R9 scored. CR7 scored. João Felix scored. You look decent. Let's see what the next game brings. Against who you have the next game, by the way? Let me check. I think you play I don't want to say tomorrow, but day after tomorrow, I think. Who do you play next? You play Hungary on Tuesday. Away as well. I think that will be a tougher game, but I think you also will get the job done. You will also get the job done against them as well. Big up, AJ. Big up. Yeah, I think you'll get the job done as well against Hungary. Although Hungary at home might be a bit of a tricky one, but I think you will do enough. I think you looked very good, so hopefully it will continue as well. Wait. The only question mark still for you lot is, well, I'm not going to lie, Roberto Martinez, because I don't think he's going to do good for you in the World Cup overall. Genuinely don't think so. He ruined Belgium's golden opportunities. I think he's going to do it the same to you. I don't trust Roberto Martinez. Turkey are bad. I wouldn't be surprised if they sack him. Would not be surprised if they sack him. Germany have scored. 2-1 Germany. They have finally scored. They have found a goal against Northern Ireland. Took them long enough, but they have finally found a goal. Amiri scored, which is quite interesting. Came on for Voltemade and instantly scored. But yeah, people, as I said, for today, I'm going to be signing off. So take care. Stay safe. Enjoy football. Enjoy new week starting tomorrow as well. Enjoy Monday. Hopefully it treats you well. Hopefully you feel great as well. So thank you for your likes, subscriptions, for your comments and everything. You have been phenomenal. So for today, take care, stay safe. See you tomorrow, and peace.